Alright. Audible na kami na. Yeah, 7:25. Alright.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry about that. Alright, so we already got the usuals here. Julian. Hello. Glendale. John. Bruce. D Prime. Yeah.
Welcome back to stream, guys.
Yeah,
We
it's
kicked
been a
out. We
while.
kicked out of. We got our win back from technology.
Yes.
Yeah, take that technology.
Yeah. Yes. All right. Ano, Julia, nakabili ka na ng tickets for Sari Sari Slam.
Tayo na, Julian. Ano ba? Ano na?
We keep pressuring Julian every week.
Nung namigay kami ng ticket, wala kang binili. Wala kang sinalihan.
Baka hindi totoong tao si Julian. Baka imaginary siya parang Cavite.
Oh my
We are...
God.
Sorry.
Maybe Julian
announcement.
is AI.
Announcement real quick. We are getting a few sponsored tickets to Sari Sari Slam care of our patrons. So stay tuned for
Yun.
a raffle to win a waffle.
Julian. Oh. Take note.
Paano yung take note? AI nga siya. Nobody's
The
met
very-
him in real life.
The very first AI fan.
Oh. Parang yung AI na actress, di ba?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
Bakit, Julian? Am I wrong? Have we met you in person?
Oo nga. It would be really cool, Julian, to see you there on NextCon weekend. Because we have to meet you finally. I've 3 years na kitang friends sa Facebook. Di pa kita nakikita kahit kailan.
Oh, that's on you, Emil Nate. Ba't ka kasi accept ng friend
Kaya
request?
nga, kaya ka sa scam eh. Yung mga taong yun na scam eh. Naka-catfish eh.
Parang gago talaga. Ay, nako.
Accept ka ng accept eh. Unfriend nga kita. Maka-catfish ako.
Alright.
Uy, willing i-sponsor ni Bruce yung ano mo. Transfer
Uy!
mo. Wala ka ng takas.
Siyempre, ang daming pera si Bruce. He frequents the same places as Meow.
What up, Ina?
Ina, hello.
Hey, Ina. Yung nga, Glendale, yun nga yung catfish, diba? That's the very definition of it.
Saying hello to TL Mac.
Uy,
On
si
YouTube.
TL Mac.
Hey.
Nabuhayan siya nung may nagbanggit ng catfish. Di ko alam bakit though. Saying hey to Lance all the way listening
Hey.
in Tokyo. Fucking Tokyo. Are you still at Korakuen, Lance?
Well, pinanood yung season
10
aside.
seconds. Shut up na. 10 seconds.
Please hit my music and yeet!
My name is Colin Cash Money Cannon.
What do we want to talk about?
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
You're still just a kid.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Because mommy is always on top.
This is Lola Vice. I love you so much.
They love my Latina heat.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
You are CM Punk.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
To say his name.
Say his name and he appears.
Stan C, the voice of Philippine wrestling. University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Romoran, the fancy daddy. University of the Philippines, Diliman.
Chino Liao, Best Gout Machine, San Sebastian College Recoletos, College of St. Benilde, De La Salle University, International Academy of Film and Television.
Email linked, small forward, the Ateneo de Naga University.
And you're listening.
You're listening.
And you're listening.
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
And you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast.
Wrestling Podcast.
On our Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
You're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the new
What's happening to you?
technical
What is happening to
difficulty
you?
bound live stream of the longest running Filipino. Stan, you good?
Yeah, okay ako. Hindi ko nakita yung message ni Jasper. Nag-message pa siya?
Yes.
Nagpapanik siya sa chat eh. Oh.
Oo nga eh.
Talaga ba? Sorry naman. Alright. You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. New time slot at 8 p.m. Sakto, meron tayong 100 stars from Captain Mike. Thank you so much for sending that over.
Captain Mike,
Thank you. Mike.
Baka ano yan, reward yan for the new time slot.
Send me kayo ng mga stars, guys. Huwag kayo magdamot.
Yeah. Feel free to send the stars. Feel free to hit that follow or subscribe button on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure to leave a comment on it, especially if you like stuff we're talking about or if you want to chime in on the conversation. Yung Spotify comment section is the way to go. Again, going back to the new time slot, we're doing 8 p.m. now on Thursdays. So you can say na move up pa kami further into prime time. You can say na nagbago kami ng time slot, pero it's really an internal decision, mostly for our beloved babyface producer Jasper, who has taken his talents to a new company. Kaya in-accommodate namin syempre yung schedule niya, because this live stream cannot go on without babyface producer Jasper, as we all found out last week.
Oo.
Tayo na to, pala tayo sa Batang Quiapo.
Awado.
Meron ba sa ating may lisp?
I mean, I do.
Permanent time slot, yes. Because Jasper, unless of course, for whatever reason, Jasper has to go back.
Baka future endeavor siya. Hindi natin alam.
Baka di siya ma-regular doon sa pupunta niyang bago.
Knock on wood, Jasper. Hindi pa namin kaya buhay sa Jasper.
But yeah, so that's one of the updates from us here on the pod. Basically, the main reason why we're doing 8 p.m. live streams going forward. We have been doing the 7 p.m. live streams for the better part of over 5 years. So I guess it's a nice thing to switch it up a bit. At least hindi tayo yung panghating gabing time slot, which is what befell Boys Night Out. R.I.P. Boys Night Out. Anyway, let's talk about the Crown Jewel viewing party happening at Hobby Stadium. That's on October 11. Tickets are now available. You can hit us up sa facebook.com/wrestling podcast. It's one of our pinned posts. It will be a rare PLE in our time zone. So 8 p.m. siya talaga. Doors will open by 7 p.m. You can buy tickets as a walk-in entrant. You can buy tickets online. And, we hope to see you there. For once, it's a Saturday night na we're actually in the mood to eat, drink, and watch wrestling.
Pero wala ka kasi you'll be working the show.
Yeah, pero at least hindi kayo awkward na nagbe-beer ng 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Diba?
It's really more for you than for us.
Yeah,
for us, for all of us.
Yeah, for the wrestling fans. Yeah. Ang tunay na panalo dito yung wrestling fans talaga. So come by, man. It's good to have a good time at Skinny Mike. At the Hobby Stadium.
All right, another event we're doing at Hobby Stadium. We're announcing this way in advance, but we are celebrating Halloween at Hobby Stadium. Sakto Friday night ang Halloween, October 31.
Wala raw pasok.
Yeah. We are bringing back Halloween Quiz Night. So come in your best wrestling costume, wrestling-themed costume. Mine just arrived in the mail today. So meron akong masusuot for Halloween Quiz Night. I have it on good authority that one of our old friends, Anthony Coelho, is sponsoring a ticket to Puso Wrestling Alamat happening on November 30 for the best costume of the night. All right?
Good.
So, yon, may prize na tayo. We also have prizes for the winners of Halloween Quiz Night. So,
Julian.
ito na yung chance to Puso Wrestling Alamat on November 30 at Brawl Pit Bulusan on someone else's dime.
We've been doing that. To be fair, we've been doing more of that lately. So, if you haven't been trying, you're missing out.
Sobrang saya ng quiz night, guys. We had so much fun with our friends and patrons and listeners last year. So let's see kung sino man nanalo sa Halloween quiz night. All right, Emil, Nate, let them know how they can support the podcast through other means.
All right, so aside from the sponsorships that we have been saying over and over again here in the podcast in the past few months, you can also support the podcast through Patreon and Gank. It's at patreon.com/wrestling podcast and ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod for those $5. You get the Discord. Discord community is always fun. You get first dibs to everything. First dibs to tickets to events and the other stuff, pasabays, all of that and more. It's a way to support the podcast that's going strong for the last 11 years. Thank you for all the support. And thank you for our future supporters who will subscribe again to Patreon and Gank. The links are patreon.com/wrestling podcast and ganknow.com/wrestling2xpod.
All right. Finally, Emil, Nate, ipagyabang mo yung Converge Netflix bundle na na-afford mo with your USD.
Yeah, so we will always put over Converge here on the podcast. Scratch that moment from a recent episode. But yeah, if you if you've been wondering where to watch your weekly WWE programs, your Raw, SmackDown, NXTs, or the PLE, you could do it the two ways. Blast TV is always there, and Netflix via VPN, and you can experience both, at their best with the Converge Netflix bundle. There are three tiers to that plan: the $17.98, the $99.98, and the $22.98. You'll get high speed internet. You'll get the experience box to use to watch your favorite WWE programs and other programs as well. And you'll also get the new Wi-Fi modem. So all of that, and of course your free Netflix account included in that bundle. So if you haven't upgraded, or if you haven't subscribed to Converge, you could do that. You could request it through customer service via email, or if you have your local Converge office in your area, you could go there and and see it for yourself, how Converge do their service. So so Converge always number one in our hearts.
Wow.
Pala, before we begin, we're also still looking for sponsors. We have not stopped looking for sponsors, especially now that Jasper has moved on from TPN. So if you are again representing a brand, or you want to represent yourself, you want us to shout out your brand on the show, on the pre-rolls, on the mid-rolls, on if you want to sponsor an Emil Nate, play a Nate and Rant.
Kung may papamura kayo kay Emil Nate, di ba? Kung siya magpakatulfo siya.
Available pa kami to sponsor or to live out your whims and all that. For as low as 5,000, kaya namin yan.
5,000 lang. May mamumura na si Emil Nate on your behalf.
No. Hindi yun yung rate for Emil Nate's voice. Yung lang yung pinakamababa. Na ating ino-offer.
Kiss lang yun from Chino.
Yeah. Hello. .wrestling podcast@gmail.com.
Yes, sir.
PM is the key.
The rants and
Email
the
is the key,
kisses.
All right.
Hello. Wrestling podcast@gmail.com.
Let's start with the wrestling talk, and we're gonna go outside the ring muna for John Cena's final match, which has been announced this week. Pinost ng WWE and ni Triple H yung graphic that John Cena's final match will indeed take place at Saturday night's main event from Washington, D.C. at the Capital One Center, yung home court ng Washington Wizards, and it will happen this December. I believe it's December 13, Saturday, So Sunday and December 14 sa atin, and because it is Saturday night's main event, ibig sabihin it'll be live and on demand on the WWE YouTube channel dito sa Pilipinas. And we're actually working on organizing a viewing party for this one just because it is a spectacle in and of itself. So if you want to be part of that viewing party, go ahead and follow us sa Facebook page because we'll announce the details as soon as they become available.
Puntahan nyo rin.
Puntahan nyo din.
Yeah.
No, amazing that Cena finally has an end date. Kumbaga, may tanim na. An actual date that we can hold on to for his
Sounds
final...
so negative to say na may taning. Alam mo yun,
wala,
parang merong
talaga
banta
eh.
sa buhay niya.
No,
wala namang threat sa buhay ni John Cena. Ano ka ba?
Yung career niya. May taning na yung career niya. So, it is bittersweet considering we've all lived through the entirety of Cena's run, diba? From the ruthless aggression to now, kung ano siya ngayon. So, definitely feelings will be felt the moment we hear that final 1, 2, 3 in a Cena match.
I just wish they don't cut his farewell speech like they did with Goldberg, and just give him a good opponent here. Just for the. Kaso ang hirap
Sino ba
isipin
pinitch
nun
mo sa writer's room, Emil?
Yun nga, ang hirap isipin. This is the greatest of all time. So who you gonna pair him up with for his final match? It's crazy. Nah, I can't think of someone yet as of the moment.
Who do you want it to be? Yun lang.
I mean, a lot of people are saying they want it to be someone from outside WWE. They want it to be Edge, diba? They want it to be, against his, one of people are also saying AJ Styles, but that's already gonna happen at Crown Jewel. So,
sure.
Medyo malabo pa for me. Or maybe they could run it back with Cody, but we already seen that. So maybe someone who Cena hasn't really faced during this farewell run.
I don't think they're gonna want. I don't think anyone's gonna want the new matchup of John Cena. But like, we already tried that with Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin, and it didn't work. So we also tried a lot of this stuff with the experiment of John Cena's retirement tour, and a lot of it isn't working. I feel like it has to be someone the fans want. I know it's nearly impossible unless they can work through their egos, but I really do want it to be Cope. Like, I want that to happen, if only for TK at least to come out and say, "No, okay, I put my ego aside. I made this happen for John Cena, despite John Cena never having played for my team. So your balls in your court, Triple H, something like that. Like, do it for the fans, and low key do it for yourselves, and both TK and Triple H and Nick Khan. Make it happen because it's a generational, it's a generational talent retiring after 20 plus years in the game. So I feel like this deserves a at least Marvel X DC crossover moment that we can get here.
Kahit one shot lang. Just like one night only thing, diba? Knowing TK, he's a very fan-centered wrestling promoter. So maybe,
You guys are saying na this is what you want to happen or this is what you feel is appropriate, diba? So, what do you think the chances are na maging realistic to?
5% at this point.
Yeah.
I don't want to put a percentage on it dahil hindi bumagsak ako ng calculus so hindi ko alam yung statistic dyan. Pero never say never,
I feel like then that everyone's answers is going to be wrong, parang it's going to be someone we didn't consider at all. I feel like that's the most likely possibility here.
All right. Let's go to AEW then and let's talk about someone who made history as the first wrestler to go from WWE to AEW, back to WWE, and then back again to AEW, and that is Andrade El Idolo.
You called it, Ro. You said that Andrade was going to be the first one to do this. You called it.
Sure, I didn't call it in seriousness, but
you did call it. I'll give you
I did, but I didn't expect Andrade to wear out his welcome in WWE after they were so geeked to have him back, and now AEW is geeked to have him back. So it's funny, but also kind of sad. Kasi,
Sad for
I
who?
feel it's sad for AEW mostly because I don't think they needed Andrade, especially with the way he left the first time and the way he left WWE the first time. Then, like, um, are they really committed to giving Andrade the treatment he wants? Diba? Are they really committed to giving him the exposure that he wants week to week? And WWE was barely doing that at the end. Kataon lang na ano eh. Kataon lang na he was in that tag team with Phoenix. And that was the best thing that has happened to him in the second run, diba? So I don't think kasi TK has the bandwidth for him to acquiesce to whatever he wants. Like, sure, put him in the DCF and the Don Callis family, but that's not really gonna amount to much, especially with the sheer amount of talent in that group. So I felt like Andrade was better off going back to Mexico. Lalo na Mexico is booming with both American companies partnering up with him, or at least go to NJPW where he has history, diba? And he can be a top foreign star that they could capitalize on. But I feel like he's used up a lot of his chances, his wishing stars in America. That I feel like everyone involved, whether it's the companies, the fans, and Andrade himself, benefit him away from the US.
Ako naman, I don't think he should have. I agree. I think with his return and just suddenly being lumped in with everybody else in the Don Callis family doesn't make the return special, especially since kakagaling lang din doon and he was playing ping pong or he was being ping ponged from both promotions. So it's not a good look for him. Tama din si Ro, but I don't think he should have left America entirely. Madami pa siyang pwede puntahan eh. Diba? He can end up in TNA for all we know. Diba? Kahit paano, I kind of don't mind that option for him because at least nandun pa rin siya sa sphere, ng WWE without actually being part of that promotion, di ba? Or of that company. So at least kahit pa paano may exposure pa din siya. You could also go to other promotions within the US, not necessarily leaving the States, baka ayaw naman niya in the first place, di ba? So it abroad is a good choice for him, pero staying in the States also has options for him kasi.
Yeah, parang for me kasi hindi na siya hindi si Andrade hindi na siya superstar kumbaga. For me at this point, he has proven himself to be a good hand, but I could never see him, I could never see him be a mega star like siguro, like the potential that he had all those years ago in NXT. And it didn't help now he was put on a stable where you already have too many talents. Now, okay, you could say, oh, he's gonna be a good hand for DCF. He's gonna be there. He's gonna, he's gonna wrestle his ass off. But he's ultimately at the end of the day, I think he's there to put over people, and the thing is, we already seen Andrade in AEW, so like it's nothing new, at this point. And yun nga, and the initial surprise was nice, but after a while, like, okay, this isn't really like an earth shattering move, kumbaga. And ayun nga, him inserting himself agad, not even wala man lang suspense or anything, basta sumali na lang siya bigla sa Don Callis family, which, I'm getting sick of more members joining that damn group.
Well, too bad for you, Emil Nate, because another person joined that damn group in the same day, and his name is the Clone, or El Clone. But before we get into that, I just want to point out na nagulat ako na walang 90-day clause si Andrade.
Yun nga.
Yeah, he hasn't even been gone for 3 months.
Oh. Kasi he was fired, di ba?
I think.
But
yun yung report, di ba?
Yeah, but I don't see how it's different from getting released from the contract because it's still before the natural expiry of the contract. So that is kind of weird to me, but at least good for him that he can have another job. You don't have to wait 3 months before you get a new job.
Yes. Okay, let's piss off Emil again and talk about the Clone. The guy who dressed up as hologram during the Orange Cassidy match and cost Orange Cassidy the TNT Championship.
Did he really have to join Don Carlos family? Kasi they've been telling this story for a while na ano, si the clone, he's making a hologram's life a living hell. But I don't think I don't think it was necessary for him to join the group kasi I feel like his gimmick holds, on its own, and he could be a character on its own, on his own. So ano naman to? So sobrang dami ng members of Don Callis family. Like it's insane. They're hoarding talents. They're hoarding
Ano ko sinabi ko
talents.
member din ako. Member na rin ako
Member
ng Don
kaming
Callis family.
tatlo. Pa ikaw, Emil.
Oh, ikaw lang hindi binabayaran ni Don Callis, Emil.
That kami, Don Carlos family member.
At some point, nagmumukha na silang NWO 2000 for me.
Sure. Like, it's not a big deal to me personally. Like, okay. It's funny, I think. I think they're trolling people now. Okay, how else can we stop people from cheering the Don Callis family than to piss people off by adding everyone who's a heel in this group?
Here's the worst thing about this is that because there's so many members, Don Callis is on TV like 4 to 5 times a show, which I'm not a fan of Don Callis. So like every time I see him, like, oh god, here we go again.
Well, that's the whole point, diba? Like, you're not supposed to cheer for Mr. C
Exactly.
when he shows up in Chelsea Marie's corner.
So is the clone just hologram in a different costume, or is it?
No, it's a different guy. It's like the
Okay.
two Sin Caras.
Oh,
Okay.
dalawang Sin
Okay.
Puro
Cara.
tattoo to. Hologram lang tattoo.
Okay. Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I don't mind them adding people to their roster, honestly, kasi they graduate them naman eventually, right? I mean,
Oh.
nobody stays there forever. So if it's a way for them to introduce more people to the roster, then go for it.
I
Diba?
actually think they're setting up this long-term story na super garapal ni Don Callis in adding everyone he can find or everyone he can get to agree to join his group, that it's going to eventually blow up in his face. But that's just the long-term storytelling that I think or kind of want to happen.
I mean, if you really want Don Callis to be super garapal, he has to make more money than LeBron James in his entire NBA career.
You mean more money?
Kailangan
More
niya
money
maging
than the
DPWH
Discayas?
contractor.
Oh, that's gonna be his biggest heel move.
Oh god.
Pag pinatawag siya sa Senate.
Did you know Zaldico made more money than LeBron?
Man, that should put that should put it in a context. Like,
No. That literally feeds families.
Yun, that's pretty well.
Buti nga yung pera ni Don Callis napupunta sa talents niya.
Oo.
Sabagay,
Di
yeah,
na pupunta
that's
sa
true.
Ghost Project. Di na pupunta sa mga no-show agreements. What up, Kawhi? Okay, we'll take a break. We'll get our shit together, and then when we come back, we'll talk more wrestling right here after this Emil Nate dance break. All right, sticking with Dynamite, one last bit we got to talk about is yung bagong feud ni Hangman Adam Page and Samoa Joe. So they were tagging, and then all of a sudden biglang magkaaway na sila, and now they've got a match at Wrestle Dream for the AEW World Championship. I don't know about you guys, pero parang ang bilis ito. Parang, ba't biglang magkaaway na sila?
No, because you have to pay attention to the match. Like they told the story during the match itself. Na parang Hangman Page was fucking around with teaming with tagging with Samoa Joe. Like he stole the tag from Joe. It's typical. It's your typical friends to enemies story. And then after the match, he shoved Joe's trios championship belt in his chest. Diba? So Joe being Joe, his character na he doesn't take any shit and papalag siya kahit kanino, kahit supposed friend mo pa siya or kaalyado mo siya. It is what it is. Like I get it. It's 3 weeks until Wrestle Dream. You do need to build something up. They don't have a story in the chamber for Hangman. I feel like Joe is like the best person, one of the best people to make a random story like this work. Like sometimes you just need two people who have anger issues, and that's enough of a impetus to run a match. Like they've been doing these random side quests, but a villain of the month for Hangman since beating John Moxley decisively. So while they fish for that next big story for Hangman, for that next big opponent, I don't think you can do. And you can definitely do worse than Joe. Is what I'm saying.
This reminds you of my high school days na may dalawang tao na nagbanggaan lang or whatever. Just simple thing happened. Tapos 5 minutes later, nagsusuntukan na sa CR. Nagkakasal lang silang dalawa eh. That's it. Title match agad, di ba? Tama si Ro. We are in the early stages of Hangman's title reign where I don't want to say it's a filler program, but it does feel like it. Like
It is because Joe isn't a top heel. Like he
Yeah.
works as a face and he works as a tweener. And then maybe Hangman wanted to work with Joe. Maybe somebody wanted the two of them to work together. Hangman naman tried to make it make sense by declaring on social media that he'll fight whoever and he'll defend the championship against Joe because he wanted to fight. So it's at least aligned with their two characters.
Yeah. So natahi naman nila. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Siguro, yes, they're trying to make it make sense. It's still early in the feud, so sana they pull it off and have it make sense. Because where it stands right now, sinabi yung dalawa, there are like red flags being raised. So at least kahit pa paano, I put a little effort into the storytelling para lang so that we know that the line is clearly drawn.
All right. Let's move on to Monday Night Raw where we got another Roman Reigns return. He's back. Apparently tapos na yung filming niya ng Street Fighter. So he came out to help the Usos fend off Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. And then Jay and Roman shared a handshake in the middle of the ring, and you had Jimmy Uso acting like, okay, what the hell's going on here? Parang medyo sus na sobrang aligned na bigla sina Jay and Roman.
Are we really
Jimmy
running this
Uso with
back
a
again?
very memeable face. Somebody needs to clip that. Yung nakaganon siya.
I wonder if Roman noticing that Jay is going back to the dark side. I wonder if that's gonna be the thing that makes him finally say sorry.
Oh. Yeah, di pa siya nagsasorry eh. Hanggang ngayon eh.
turuan mo kaya?
I'm sorry. It's that easy, Roman. Pero ayun nga eh. It seems like they're really going for Jay having more edge. I don't necessarily see this as a heel turn. It might lead to a heel turn, but definitely has more edge lately in his character. So Roman being in the mix, adds to that. So but I think this parang this thing between them is a red herring, and they're gonna be united. Siguro by War Games. I feel like this is not the War Games story here. The bloodline against the Vision.
The Vision.
Yeah.
If it does end up going to War Games and it's Bloodline versus Vision, then Jay Uso will be a linchpin figure in that rivalry. And siguro, kasi kung ganun ka-importante yung match mo, what will end up happening is Jay, who is going through something right now, is gonna make a decision and it's going to affect the outcome of War Games, diba? Whether he betrays his fellow bloodline members, whether he goes off on his own, whatever that is. Kasi parang where he stands right now, yes, tama kayo. Roman Reigns still hasn't apologized. He still feels the need to also be a little bit more aggressive towards the people who don't tend to understand him. So there's all these factors playing into his psyche right now that I believe the ending of this long-term story that they want to tell with Jey Uso will actually end up with him being a pure heel, just a total heel, without anybody at his side, no brother, no cousin, nothing. Just main event Jey Uso on his own, established as a heel.
So just him, Us.
Just him, yes.
What if what if obviously the story they're telling is Jimmy doesn't necessarily align with Jay's growing frustration, diba? What if we're getting a Jimmy singles push out of all this?
I don't mind it.
What he did?
Yeah, Jay already got his.
But do we need it? Is what we're are you clamoring for a Big Jim singles push that may or may not lead to a world championship?
Now, to be fair, si Rikishi lang din humingi ng Jey Uso singles push.
Wow.
I don't think the little kids buying the merch were like, yeah, I want to see him champion. They were just buying it because he had a catchphrase, guys.
To be fair, like if you want to tell the twins apart, like Big Jim doesn't have much of his own character as Jay, diba? So as main event Jay. So I don't know if that's a knock, if that's intentional on his part, but it is what it is. And I don't think I think of all the three Fatu brothers in wrestling right now, parang si Big Jim ang kulang sa identity.
Is it because si Jimmy was injured when Jay's character was being fleshed out? Kasi remember, diba nung COVID time, ang tagal na wala ni Jimmy Uso eh. Doon talaga natin nakilala kung sino si Jay pag binukod mo siya from the rest of his family. So, did you think it was the injury time?
No, I think the heel turn that he did when Jay was being a face and he was on his way up to the championship, parang that didn't really... They didn't take the opportunity to build on that, diba? To really define who Big Jim is, other than the fact that he was the twin that turned on his twin.
Yeah. That was the chance, the heel turn. That was the chance sana to flesh out Jim's character, as his own. Pero wala eh. Binalik lang nila si Big Jim sa bloodline not too long after
that's
that.
right. Oh.
Naging lucky lang siya ulit.
That's right. Emil's right. He got the short end of the stick in that story. They focused on Jay being the one to break free from Roman, and he had the story with Sammy, diba? And then when the time came for them to do the same to Jimmy, they just brought him back to the bloodline. They brought him back to simp for Roman.
Yeah. Oh.
Which is ironic that now Jimmy's the one who's telling Jay na, hey, don't be like Roman.
Calling him out for
kind
being
of
like
strange
Roman.
there.
Yun nga eh.
Baka yun yung character development na hinahanap mo.
Sure, pero now he's just the twin is different from the twin.
If anything, it's not enough motivation for us to want to cheer for Jimmy Uso, diba? Kasi it's just there. Like, yeah, he's calling out exactly what we see is happening. Pero what does he do about
siya yung Greek chorus.
what does he do about it? That's the thing. He has to do something, diba? Before we can actually say tama si Jimmy Uso.
So how when Jay was getting big, he solidified an entire identity around himself. Like he did the whole yeet thing. He showed that he was a fun-loving twin. He yeeted his way to the championship, to winning the Royal Rumble in the championship.
Mag-co-op din siya ng internet catchphrase. Yun kailangan niya gawin.
And as it stands, his own wife is more over than he is. Which we never thought would happen.
Kawawa naman si Big Jim. Inalipusta nyo na dito sa podcast.
No, I mean,
but we love Big Jim.
I love Big Jim. It's just that they don't love Big Jim. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the women naman and yung next chapter of the RHIYO and Kabuki Warriors saga. So we're getting the tag team match at Crown Jewel. It is RHIYO versus Asuka and Kairi. And we're getting a little bit more nuance now kasi diba si Kairi is actually getting some speaking parts here and she's the one basically telling Io na si Asuka yung senpai natin without saying that Asuka is a senpai. Basically reminding Io na Asuka paved the way. Na si Asuka yung nauna, siya yung gumawa ng daan for the two of them to have successful careers in the US.
Asuka said she was a senpai.
Oh yeah, that's right. She did say nung vignette.
So, okay, so I know that Rio is the main character in this feud, and then everyone's gooning over their girls' love relationship. But I want you all to know that Kairi Sane is the MVP of the story. Because she is the one acting her ass off, trying to be conflicted. She has to internalize disagreeing with Asuka while still having to agree with Asuka because she's duty bound as the junior to follow Asuka, the senior's orders. And she's doing all that. She's beating Io up while still crying. That is pretty hard to do. That is like the bar for acting in WWE in wrestling as a whole is kind of low, syempre when you compare it to other forms of media. But the thing she is doing, and she's not even a natural English speaker. It's not her first language. She's acting her ass off, conveying to you what her own position is in the story. She's getting really good writing, and she is knocking it out of the park, telling you doing what the writing is.
Yeah, ang layo na nito dun sa original Inception natin na Tibuso na pareho. It's so much deeper than that now. Right? It's so much deeper than that. It's a battle for tradition, for seniority, for trying to break free of the mold. Ang ganda kasi we always just thought that, two hot women getting it on TV. That's it. Give us that stuff. But it's so much deeper than that. And I love it because that's the nuance that you need in today's wrestling. It's not just something shallow like we thought it was.
Yeah, I will actually agree with Chino na as much as we like the doses of kaba every week on TV, it's also
Ano ba yung kaba, Emil?
You all know what it is.
Hindi alam na listeners, inside joke lang.
Di ko alam.
Alam mo, Chino. Ano
ka, Emil? Naughty boy?
Buuin mo yung kaba.
Yung gayness, I would just call it.
Kabaklaan kasi.
Kabaklaan, kabadingan, ayan. As much as we like getting doses of that weekly, it's also nice na now we're getting more nuance to this story, diba? Like, it's just more, it's more than that. It's now, tradition, yung mga things that, Chino has said. And I feel like the Kyrie will be the bigger star out of all of them after, and hindi naman bigger star out of all of them, but yung stock niya will rise the most after this story is over because she's been doing some of her best work of her WWE career in this storyline.
Yeah,
it's a long-term play for sure. Like you're not gonna get the payoff for everything anytime soon because they're focusing on Rio and Io's own conflict against Asuka, who is living it up, playing the cartoon heel.
Ano to? So parang same kay Jey Uso, no? Before.
And Sami Zayn, as Doc G mentioned in the chat.
Yeah, Sami Zayn. Yeah.
I was mentioning to Chino last week dun sa Thursday recording namin na it's also pretty ironic if you know yung meta-narrative ni Asuka na before she came to WWE, she ruffled so many feathers in the Japanese wrestling scene because she was the one who wanted to buck against tradition. Siya yung nagsasabi na ayaw niyang sundin yung kalakaran sa Joshi scene kaya ang dami niyang nakabangga on her way out of Japan to America. So for her in kayfabe to be, this old head banging her fist against the table na, no, I'm the senior, follow me. It's a nice twist to the meta-narrative.
To be fair, she wasn't bucking against any tradition. She was just bucking against yung ginusto back in the time. They wanted the Joshis to be similar to what the Divas were in Vince's time.
Yeah.
So that was the quote-unquote tradition, which isn't really the real tradition of Joshi wrestling. But the point still stands, sure. She is bucking against something, and now Asuka is enforcing the law, the order around here.
Or something makaluma. Parang inaano niya, pinaglalaban niya yung makaluma. Yeah, so, good stuff. It's my favorite thing going on in wrestling today, for sure. What did you guys think of the RHIYO and Bravo Americano.
Oh, I love it.
I like the names. I like the names. So these are generic, so at least we can actually tell them apart.
Better than Venti and Paul.
Yeah, or the
people love to shit on the gimmick. As a shepherd, you're taking away. Oh, what happened to Tyler Bate? What happened to Pete Dunne? Why are they doing this now? But some people, a lot of wrestlers, just want to be luchadors. Wrestlers just want to be luchadors, and sometimes you don't have the opportunity to do that from where you're from, diba?
Yep.
So if somebody gave them the excuse, oh hey guys, you can be luchadors now, I'm sure they jumped at the chance to be exactly that. The two of them and Ludwig Kaiser and Chad Gable.
So for me, it seems like they're really running with this thing long term na. Hindi na to for a short term program lang. Or
no, you don't know that.
Or eventually someone will catch them playing luchador characters. So I don't mind it, but I was also questioning, okay, what's the end game for this?
I don't know.
Malayo na
I don't think we all hindi na siya yung original story.
Malayo na siya from the original Chad Gable
is
bastardizing tradition, diba? Kasi first of all, Chad Gable isn't even in the story anymore.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's a different guy. So the fact that the psychology of the gimmick is different now, it just goes to show na ang layo na niya from the haha gimmick that we all thought it was.
But it is still the haha gimmick.
I mean, yes, but for a different reason now. Diba?
Sure.
Wala na yung, hindi na nila, kumbaga hindi na question kung sino si El Grande Americano, because we haven't even seen Ludwig Kaiser as Ludwig Kaiser on TV in quite some time, right? Or si Bate and Don. I haven't seen them in quite some time as well. We've only saw the Los Americanos. So that goes to show na either binary nila yung identities nila as Kaiser and Bate and Dunn, or that it doesn't matter anymore, and that the Americanos are just Americanos.
I think the end game is still having something to do with Dominic, diba? Right now they're kind of taking a break with that, like Dom won against Rusev, quote unquote, without interference. Pero I always thought that initially that was the plan. And then now they also called an audible after the first audible, and now they are a faction. It's totally fine. Like everyone keeps saying that the Raw tag team division sucks compared to SmackDown. Do you do this? Like, again, people want to be luchadors.
Yeah, so people are also talking about how these names are kind of weird, diba? But I put it on Google Translate. Apparently, Bravo means brave, and RHIYO means stray.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so
RHIYO specifically means bolt. So that's
yun,
bolt.
Ayun, so yung isa matapang, yung isa mabilis. Sure, diba? Why not?
Sorry, Ali.
I also like yung the post that RHIYO and Bravo Americano had, kasi clearly it's an homage to El Santo and Blue Demon. Like if you've seen yung classic posters nila El Santo and Blue Demon, yun eh. So you could see na it really is more of an homage now as much as it is a haha act.
Yeah, I'm like, people are like asking like, where's Kaiser? Where's Dunn? Where's Bane? Like, do you really want to see those characters? Like, they didn't really do much for those characters. Like,
some people do.
I mean, kasi may nostalgia sila eh, diba? Like, and the UK, it was this great thing. But, at the same time, right, you gotta find spots for these guys. And this is a spot right here. Diba?
I've seen countless Twitter posts of people uploading the Bate versus Dunn match from TakeOver Chicago and asking, where are these guys?
The crowd didn't cheer those guys. The main roster crowd didn't cheer those guys.
Yeah, that's
who I mean, who says they can't do that stuff as RHIYO and Bravo?
Nga, diba?
Yeah, true.
There was a guy, I believe it was Bravo, diba, who did something similar to Bang for Your Buck or Bang and Buck. So who's to say na? Who's to say that they can't do the same stuff while under the mask?
I think that's also because they wanted a character, a gimmick that could be exported right away to AAA when the time comes. Diba? So, yun din yan.
The funny thing is, yun nga, diba, the original vision for the character is ginagago nila yung lucha libre, and yet the Americanos characters are so over in AAA.
Yeah.
Like people are cheering these gringos.
Especially EGA, diba? He was the most over. Kumakanta pa siya in Spanish. So,
yeah.
So much so that they would happily boo Vikingo and cheer for El Grande Americano.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's the funniest bit for me. All right, we'll take another Emil Nate dance break. When we come back, we'll talk about NXT and TNA. All right, let's get to some shout-outs over on YouTube.
Hey, a couple of people are stumbling on our YouTube stream. So hello, David Albert, our brother Albert here, talked about how he wanted to free the Americanos from the grip of the mask and want them to be the Brawling Brutes again. For which, might I remind you, people really hated it. People did not like the Brawling Brutes. Saying hey to David, who says it's Asuka spraying blue mist like Godzilla was funny. And then Adam Khan asks, who is El Grande Americano? Well, we may never know.
All right, we've got NXT and TNA Showdown happening next week. So the name's been changed. Hindi na siya Invasion. It is now a Showdown. And we've got the men's and women's teams. So for Team NXT on the men's side, you've got the NXT champion Ricky Saints, TNA World Champion Trick Williams, the young OG Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne against Team TNA, the captain being Mike Santana, Moose, X-Division champion Leon Slater, and the new international champion Frankie Kazarian. What do you think about this lineup?
Lineup is fine.
Siya.
Yeah,
lineup is fine. Mas may sense siya. Than the women's NXT TNA matchup, which we'll talk about in a bit. But this is way more NXT versus TNA, and I'm totally okay with this. Although it is pretty weird. Sorry. It's pretty weird that Trick is on Team NXT.
I mean, I get why Trick is on Team NXT because he thinks he's better than TNA.
Yes.
Okay,
right, sure.
As
That's
the
the gimmick.
TNA champion.
Diba kaya niya binabaliktad yung championship?
Yeah, because he thinks he's better than that whole company. That's why he doesn't show up to TNA as much. That's why he flips the belt around because he feels like he's better. That's why he's even so full of himself that he thought co-captain siya ni Ricky Saints, diba?
Yeah.
So,
Tsaka sinabi ni Trick, diba, na parang, ride or die, NXT talaga ako through blue. So, you know.
Yeah, so
that makes sense to me.
So there's also that. Yeah, so I get why Trick is part of Team NXT here. I like the TNA team here better because of all the actual TNA OGs that they put there. So Bruce, Frankie Kazarian, diba? So they were there to hold that side down. So I like the selections for both sides. Miles Bourne is an interesting choice, although I think that choice is going to pay pagdating no match itself.
Yeah. Same. I have no problems with the men's lineup. I just kind of wish that Matt Cardona could have been included. I mean, he is one of their biggest stars. So
he's not even in TNA.
He's not a TNA diehard.
Oh,
he's technically not signed with TNA.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll play a part next week. Let's see.
I'm sure.
Naki-epal siya doon sa Match ni Briggs, di ba?
No, they are treating him as a mercenary here.
Yeah.
All right. Any thoughts on guys like Jasper Troy being missing or Josh Briggs not getting a spot in favor of Javon Evans? Like yung mga big boys talaga ng NXT or like Hank and Tank, di ba?
Josh Briggs lost the match, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? He
Sige.
faced the Miles Bourne, so that makes sense. The big guys, especially Oba, I would have thought Oba Femi would have been part of this, but I understand why they're giving him breathing room here. Pero yeah, the no, size wise, clear mentioned they had to see NXT here, a little bit lopsided here. So I don't have a problem with the lineup again. It's just an interesting point that they don't have a monster on any of their rosters or any of their lineups.
It is what it is.
All right, let's talk about the women's side. Ito, alam ko maraming thoughts here, Ro. Women's team NXT, you've got the women's champion JC Jane, the double champion Sol Ruka, Jada Parker, and Lola Vice, who defeated Fallon Henley for that final spot against Team TNA on the women's side. The new Knockouts World Champion, Kelani Jordan, Jessica McKay, and Cassie Lee, the Inspiration, and Jakara Jackson / Mara Sade.
This is so fucked up. Yeah. This is so fucked up. Now I'm sure they're doing this on purpose. Now Kalani is a team captain. Like if it were me, I would have put Indy Hartwell as a team captain of the women's team because she has the biggest gripe against NXT. Diba?
Yep.
Against WWE in general. Because WWE let her go. Diba? So
no, we have an impact. Sorry, we have an impact left before Showdown, so it probably will be a story told. We haven't seen Indy interact with Kaylani after the match yet, so that'll be an interesting point to consider coming this week's Impact. Hopefully, they do that and address that issue, and a change up happens. Diba? We'll see. Nakakatawa yun eh. It's a good point to bring up na literally all former NXT wrestlers on TNA side, right? So nakakatawa na nadulas pa nga si Kalani eh, almost called Mara Sade, Jakara Jackson. So they might be doing something here, and it's just a wait and see at this point.
the other three are fine because they got let go. But I think the Kalani thing is going to be deliberate because they did make JC Jane pointed out. Like,
yes.
Why would you if you were on Team TNA, why would you trust the team captain, a technically NXT employee? So I think they pointed that out there because it is the Chekhov's gun of this particular matchup.
Yeah, when I was watching this, I was thinking this team is basically Team NXT then, but if you look at the roster, sa TNA for the women, medyo nagigets ko rin because they
Halos lahat sila galing NXT.
Oh,
literally lahat sila galing NXT.
Sino na lang ba doon hindi nag-NXT? Si Rosemary, Su Young, who else?
Tessa
Su Young's not with
Masha.
TNA anymore.
Oh shit, okay.
The Elegance brand,
Yeah.
two of them are not from NXT.
Yeah,
sure.
And I was also thinking they won't use either Tessa or Masha
For sure.
right
For
now.
sure.
Tessa and Masha, yeah.
So I guess it's okay. And I guess this also is a deliberate thing. And they're telling the story of, hey, why are the people representing us former talents of our ops, diba? So at first parang na-confuse ako din. I was saying, okay, this is deliberate and they're telling a story here that will unfold in the next week or even the next in the future weeks to come.
Speaking of deliberate, parang deliberate din na hindi part ng Showdown sina Jordan Grace and Joe Hendry, and it was actually addressed, diba, na people are wondering where their allegiances lie.
Okay, I have a problem with that promo. Yung sa sinabi ni Mike Santana na you seem to be one foot in, one foot out the door for both companies. And then he's trusting Kelani Jordan to lead them, Parang it's weird. Jordan is more TNA than Kelani.
Kasi nga sinabi ni Kelani, she's TNA fallen through. So
no. What Kelani said was that she was accepting the responsibilities of being Knockouts champion.
Okay.
That's pretty honorable.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think both of them will have their roles then for next week. Di lang natin alam kung where they will align themselves.
This will definitely have implications. It's interesting because both matches were announced as 5-on-5 pero naging 4-on-4
naging
na
4
lang
on
siya.
4 lang, di ba? Yeah.
So they might add an extra fifth guy to either side and then have a pop by introducing a surprise fifth, di ba? In either of them.
Which company is the heel here?
TNA, sila yung nag-invade.
Why?
No,
Excuse me?
NXT.
TNA is the heel here?
No,
NXT
let's
is
let
the heel.
Emil defend his point.
Sige,
I mean, they're the ones who invaded NXT.
Damn.
They're the invaders. They're the heels. The conquerors are always the heels.
Excuse
Wow.
me? Who conquered?
Wow.
What did TNA conquer?
Tapos na yung rally, Emil, ha? Tapos na yung rally.
What exactly did TNA conquer?
Sila yung nangimasok sa NXT. NXT was doing.
Who are the
own
TNA
business.
champions right now? Where are they from?
But
what did TNA conquer?
But does that automatically mean NXT are the heels?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. All right. That's how you see it. I see it as TNA. They're.
Kaya na po tayo pangalan ng show eh.
The reason NXT is the heel here kasi sila yung nauna na himasok sila sa TNA, they took the titles, they took it to their side, and they acted like they were better than TNA.
So,
TNA
Emil, you're telling us that if the Philippine Revolution happened now, the Katipunan would be the heels against the Spanish.
Kumbaga, kung World War II to, si Emil ay yung mga nakabarong.
Makapili.
Makapili si Emil. Yeah. Kinakampihan niya yung mga Hapon, tapos nituro nila tayo.
Doc G, history major. Are we right?
No, Emil, I think you're forgetting, and hindi rin nila nabanggit, no, the biggest point of it all. Alin ba yung bigger company?
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. What exactly did TNA conquer in this entire scenario? Yeah. In this entire theater of war.
Even if TNA invaded NXT, did they really take anything?
At saka the invasion was retaliatory, right? It was a response to what NXT was doing to them.
Correct.
No. Sorry. We kind of went off tangent here because of Emil's funny answer. But the reason why I asked the question was depending on assuming Joe Hendry and Jordan Grace interfere in their particular Survivor Series matches, who will they help out? Because it will depend on how each brand is characterized here, right? And since we're both faces, like if Joe Hendry helps out NXT, that's kind of a dick move. If Jordan Grace helps out NXT, it's also kind of a dick move.
Di lang yun, Joe Hendry, during his chase and his reign as champion, and after that, after he lost the championship, he was bleeding TNA, di ba?
Oh.
Like he was really thumping the brand. Parang, I'm TNA through and through. And then now he's showing up on NXT more than TNA. Pero yung Chiron niya, his lower third, still bears TNA colors. So, that's something to watch out for. He was in the package for he was in the OBB for NXT Homecoming.
Exactly, ang laking bagay doon. The fact that he was billed out of all the full-time talent they had at NXT, they included Joe Hendry in that package, who isn't even signed to NXT. That alone is a smoking gun that should be called out. If anything, I want Joe Hendry to turn on TNA because then at least it's interesting, diba?
Big time na siya eh.
Diba?
Corporate Joe Hendry.
It becomes a heel move, diba? Kaya na, big time na ako, hindi ko na kayo kailangan, diba? Or something like that.
But do you really want to see a heel Joe Hendry? Parang that kind of defeats the purpose of his entire rise.
It's entire gimmick.
Yeah.
Showing up. Saying his name.
What about Jordan Grace, diba? Ito pa, Jordan Grace just dispatched si Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe, by the way, is nowhere to be seen in this entire thing. But then again, understandable kasi bago lang din siya, diba? So, but yeah, Jordan Grace, I don't know what she's gonna do here. Kasi nga, yung attachment niya nasa TNA, but her present is in NXT. That's exactly what she said.
I think if anything, it would make sense for her to sign with NXT kasi that's what pays her. Right? You know what I mean? So, like, why would
she
she
could be the
sign TNA?
Kyrie.
She left TNA. So,
She could be the Kyrie Sane of this whole thing and just cry while attacking the TNA guys.
Sabi ni Ava Jordan!
But yeah, the whole thing is a mess, and I can't tell yet if it's a good mess or a bad mess. Mess as in magulo and not, as in magulo and
As in wala tayong alam.
Yes, and it's also hard to make heads nor tails of the whole thing.
Eto, something that's hopefully a little bit clearer. You've got a winner-take-all match for both NXT and TNA Tag Team Championships. The Hardy Boys versus Dark State, and Saquon Sugars and Cutler James are banned from this match.
it's funny that you mentioned that because even Matt and Jeff were talking about how it's still free-birded. Like, we all know it's not.
Di nga nag-respond nga yung Dark State eh. Sinabi nga nila na it's Osiris and Dion. Not paying attention ka.
Kasi I don't follow their social media, but
it was on the show, dude!
They brought it up on the Hardy Boys promo also brought it up, so I don't know.
Yeah. So yung vignette ng Dark State was a response to the Hardy Boys social media promo, which also aired on NXT.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so what do you think?
The Hardys. Yeah, I think.
The Hardys.
Who are these youngins? they still have the match with Team 3D.
So yung match with Team 3D is gonna be for both titles. For both.
Sure. I know. I think it's just for the TNA World the Tag Championships.
Yeah. So ang gandang point din na sinabi ng Hardys na the NXT Tag Team titles are the only titles the only WWE titles that they haven't.
Oh, syempre, kasi bago siya eh.
Yeah.
when Evolve comes up with Tag Team Championship, that will be the last WWE Tag Team Champions that they haven't won yet.
Oh, they'll be like, sorry, Tate Wilder and Bryce Donovan.
So, yeah, so I guess the Hardys takes the tag team titles here.
Interesting. All right. And finally, ito, very fascinating as well. The North American Championship, Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali. And Ali specifically came out and politicked his way to get the North American Championship match that he never got 2 years ago.
You know why I love this? I love this. It's because we're actually cheering for a sleazy politician. This is the only way they can let us cheer for a guy who is admittedly a sleazy politician.
I mean, it's Mustafa
face dito sa rivalry na to eh.
I mean, technically they're both heels, so somebody has to be the face.
Kaya hindi nakakatawa eh. Diba? That Ethan Page is so detestable that we're cheering for a politician.
This is something I have been waiting ever since the collaboration started. Is Mustafa Ali's in TNA, so at some point he will have to acknowledge or TNA, parang dapat ma-acknowledge ni Mustafa Ali na still has a title shot for the North American Championship. And sakto, they in his first appearance in NXT, they already acknowledged that fact, and they already, they went for it. It says, and had scheduled a title match. Actually want Ali to win the title here, so that TNA could take something here.
Yeah, so we asked Karina, what did TNA conquer exactly from NXT? Diba? So this is the best thing they can conquer on NXT. Because all intents and purposes, Ali is the more experienced wrestler here between the two of them. So he has the biggest claim because he was denied of a title shot when he was released. So it is the best thing to do. I think we are okay then with the Ethan Page championship run. I think we've made the most from that. And if you want to give the TNA NXT rivalry some sauce, you should put it on Ali.
Yeah, agree. Agree. Just Ethan Page still has Wagner the third, right? So hindi pa siya hinaharap eh. So it's a thing that they can do on NXT or AAA, right? He doesn't really need to be an active participant in this NXT and a partnership because he's already also former TNA guy, Ethan Page, right? So at least yun.
Yun pa.
Well, TNA did kill him off.
That's also true.
Apparently not effectively.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you could say na this Ethan Page is different from TNA Ethan Page, who is dead.
That was the Karate Kid.
No, the same way that Roderick Strong and Marina Shafir aren't married.
Okay, sure. Clone pala siya.
So yeah. I just like how parang may continuity across Mustafa Ali's characters across both companies, diba? Na parang they acknowledge yung in WWE and how now he's this politician who is literally politicking his way into a championship shot at this very big crossover event. So I really appreciated how this all came together so naturally and organically.
Heel pa rin siya sa TNA, di ba?
Yes, Order 4 is a heel faction.
Yeah.
And has largely been absent from the crossovers up until this point.
Nagmukha siyang face dito, honestly. I thought he was already a baby face.
No, but tama si Ro. They needed a face, right? Because they're two heels.
That is also the problem when you run two shows with different stories. Diba? Like you've seen this in AEW and NJPW. Like somebody in NJPW will be a face in the US while being a heel in Japan.
Diba si Osprey?
Exactly.
So yeah. All right, those are our predictions for NXT and TNA Showdown, which is happening next week in the usual time slot of NXT. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited to call this. So, I hope na it delivers on all fronts. All right, let's begin to wind down here and get to some plugs. Chino, what do you have going on?
Yes.
Congrats ka pala on the Chinoy TV exposure.
Hey, congrats.
Thank you. Yes, first of all, Chinese by blood, Filipino by heart, premiering October 12 on the Billionaire News Channel. Hindi pa yun yung episode ko, guys. It'll be another few weeks. But please watch out for that. Yeah. A lot of people on this season, so sana panoorin nyo. It's also going to be up on their YouTube. Chinoy TV on YouTube. You can just look for it there. Also, brand new episode of the Class Clown podcast coming out to Saturday, which is featuring two Filipino-American comedians, one of which actually started the stand-up comedy scene here in the Philippines. So without him, we would not have stand-up. So I got to talk to Alan Manalo and Deborah Belale from the Bay Area comedy scene in San Francisco. And for me, for shows, I will be part of Comedy Manila's Joketoberfest. It is 8 full days of stand-up comedy. Minsan, dalawa pa sa isang araw, all over Metro Manila. You can get tickets at comedymanila.ph and follow me on social media at Chino Supersized.
All right. Emil, what do you have going on?
Oh, wala naman. Just follow the social social media channels of our podcast and see you at the Crown Jewel viewing party in a couple of weeks, diba? Couple of weeks na lang. Yeah.
Ro?
Crown Jewel viewing party. Link is on our Facebook page. Find a way to make it shorter and make it easier. But syempre, also Sari Sari Slam. I don't think tickets are sold out just yet. This is your opportunity to go watch Ate Lacey Lane and the rest of the Balikbayans. Marami naman sila. And syempre, stay tuned for Halloween quiz night also happening. Maraming ganap. If you have a lot of money coming in this October, we have the ways for you to spend it.
Ayun.
For me naman, a new episode of Now Steaming. We've got a guest named Dave Go this week. He's an author and an educator who talks about growing up with autism and being neurodivergent and how, sa Chinoy community, there's a particular stigma towards neurodivergence. So he gets into all of that on this week's episode. Also want to plug yung episode natin with Ho Ho Lun, which came out this week as well on the podcast. Great interview, very different from the conversation we had back in 2017 because so much has changed in Ho Ho Lun's life and career. So, we had so much fun recording it, kami ni Chino, so we hope that you get to listen to it as well. Go check that out. It is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to follow the show at Wrestling2X Pod on TikTok, Twitter, and Blue Sky, at Wrestling Podcast everywhere else. And individually for us, it is at Rowiswar, at _Stan C, at EML_Meister, at Chino Supersized. And make sure to thank babyface producer Jasper as well, as we thank him every day for always putting us over and making us sound good.
Thanks, Jasper.
Thank you, Jasper. We hope
Love
na
you,
okay sa
Lester.
inyo tong 8 p.m. time slot. This is gonna be our regular time slot on the live stream for the foreseeable future. If you can't make it work, okay lang din. We understand. It's the entire reason why we record the show and put it up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We got to get out of here, so thanks for catching the live stream. On behalf of Romoran, Chino Liao, and Emil Nate, I'm Stan C, reminding everyone to stay safe, stay dry, and don't be a roving with an H. Wrestling Podcast out. Later, Outcasts.
Peace.